Welcome to your July 2025 Global Privacy Roundup. Let's dive into the top developments from North America, Europe, and Asia. Several key privacy regulations kicked in this July across North and South regions. On July 1st, several privacy legal developments took effect. The Tennessee Information Protection Act, the Colorado Act on Biometric Identifiers, and Senate Bill 754, which amended the Virginia Consumer Protection Act. On July 24th, California Privacy Protection Agency voted to adopt the ADMT and Risk Assessment regulations, requiring organizations to undertake a risk assessment anytime data is processed. On July 31st, the Minnesota Consumer Data Privacy Act took effect. Now over to Europe and Africa, July was marked by enforcement actions and new guidance. On July 1st, DeepSeek was found in violation of GDPR, prompting authorities to request its removal from Apple and Google's app stores. Concurrently, the UK's Information Commissioner's Office secured convictions against 8 men for unlawful data access under the DPA. On July 3rd, EDPB adopted a landmark initiative to ease GDPR compliance for micro, small, and medium organizations. On July 4th, France's CNIL published new guidelines permitting websites and apps to use audience measurement tools without the need for user consent. On July 7th, France launched educational toolkits to guide DPOs on children's online data safety. The resources are aimed at parents of children aged 8 to 10. On July 16th, the EU granted adequacy to the European Patent Office first for an international body. Public consultation opens for the DFA to address dark patterns and unfair pricing. On July 21st, the Polish Data Protection Authority imposed a fine of €3.8 million on McDonald's Polska due to a data breach. On July 25th, user-to-user and search services in the UK were required to adopt robust child safety measures, with non-compliance carrying significant penalties under the Online Safety Act. And the UK ICO has issued new guidance clarifying limits on fully automated decisions and reinforcing UK GDPR safeguards. In Asia, significant changes took place in July. On July 1st, Vietnam's new data law and Decree 165 came into force, laying down rules for digital data governance. Meanwhile, the Personal Data Protection Law was enacted and takes effect on January 1, 2026. Together, these laws signal Vietnam's shift toward structured, rights-based data regulation. China followed with new encryption rules for critical infrastructure effective August 1st, requiring annual audits and certified cryptography. Singapore fined Ezonetic for weak data security after a major breach, while Australia released practical cybersecurity guides for small businesses using Apple, Google, and Microsoft tools. South Korea's privacy regulator issued a new PIPA guidance, shifting toward accountability-based processing and tighter outsourcing standards. Hong Kong and Macau signed an MOU to improve data protection cooperation, and the UAE's DIFC amended its privacy law to introduce a private right of action for individuals. Finally, China mandated registration of data protection officers for companies processing over 1 million individuals' data. Compliance is due by August 29th, and Saudi Arabia launched the National Cyber Risk Framework. Before we sign off, here's what to watch next. In China, new cybersecurity rules take effect August 1st, covering encryption, penalties, and government data sharing. South Korea is finalizing PIPA decree amendments. Comments close August 4th. In the U.S., California's AB 566 would require mobile systems to support global opt-out signals. The UK's ICO is reviewing consent rules for ad tech and profiling. And in the EU, feedback on the Digital Markets Act is open until September 24th. Wrapping up for now. Thanks for staying with us. Be informed, be compliant. See you next month.